Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kari and today I will rank all the Tinkerbell movies. In case you haven't watched the movies, I have the perfect video for you in which I give you 6 reasons why you should, and I will leave that video here in the cards and in the description. But if you have watched them, believe me, this is the video for you because right now I will tell you my ranking of the movies. Of course, I will talk about the spoilers of all the movies. And before we start, I have to say that all the links to the trailers of the movies are going to be in the description below. For this video, I brought my fairy earrings. I hope you love them. In my other video, I also had them, but I never said anything. Right now, I decided to say it just in case you didn't notice. Now, let's start with the ranking. At number 6, we have Secret of the Wings. Let me say that this movie is in the last place just because it ruins the continuity of all of the other movies. Also, I know that this is an unpopular opinion because I know this movie is a lot of people's favorite. I just think that the fact that the winter fairies can't actually live with the other fairies is very bad and unfair for everyone. I have to admit that there are a lot of beautiful moments about this movie, especially when the fairies show Periwinkle all their talents. I think that scene is wonderful. But I wasn't a fan of Periwinkle herself, and I don't think that her story with Tinkerbell was strong enough to justify everything that this movie ruined with the continuity of the whole Tinkerbell story. There never was a sign that Tinkerbell had a sister before this movie, which was maybe used as a plot twist, but I think it was just not good. I also don't like the drama of the wings and that they could actually die, but it's never mentioned before. I just have so many problems with this movie and that's why it's in the last place. But I have to mention that one thing that I love for sure is the song The Great Divide in Spanish, in Latin American Spanish. That song is amazing. At number 5, we have Tinkerbell and the Lost Treasure. When I was younger, this used to be my favorite Tinkerbell movie. I rewatched it a lot of times, and I think that's maybe why now I don't like it that much. I feel like there's nothing genuinely bad about it, but I find Tinkerbell's attitude very stressful to watch. Of course, I understand that that was the point of the movie, to show that character development, but it's just very stressful to watch right now. And also, I needed more Terrence. I think he was a great character, and he and Tinkerbell had the potential to really have a great love story, but that never played out actually, and that's very disappointing. One great thing also about this movie is the song that Demi Lovato sings, The Gift of a Friend. That song is amazing. Another thing that I like is that now we get to explore beyond Pixie Hollow. We have a journey and many adventures, and that is very entertaining to watch. At number 4, we have Tinkerbell and the Legend of the Never Beast. Okay, so this movie was nothing for me before I rewatched it. I always thought that it was an okay movie, and then I rewatched it and fell in love with it. By the way, I love all the Tinkerbell movies, so that's why I'm saying that I fell in love with this one even though it's not my top 3. And weirdly, this movie is not about Tinkerbell, but it is still very great. I think Fawn is very different to Tinkerbell, but she is still a great protagonist. All of the story about the legend was a little bit slow-paced for kids, but as an adult, I think it was great. I think the ending was very rewarding and bittersweet, so it was worth it. I cried like a baby, literally, and it was amazing. I love Fawn and the connection she has with Gruff. I think that was very well done. I think this movie is also the one that the fandom dislikes the most, and I don't understand why. I don't know if it's because it's not about Tinkerbell, or because it was very different, or because of the legend. I don't really know, but I love this movie. At number 3, we have The Pirate Fairy. This movie has a very interesting premise. It explores more about the fairy dust. I think that was very well done because the fairy dust is very important and crucial for the fairies, and I think it had potential to be explored in this way. Also, I think this movie is very funny and it really makes you love the characters. They mix the talents of the fairies, and that was so hilarious to watch. I remember that when I watched the movie in cinemas, that was epic and I laughed out loud. I love that part, and every time I rewatched it, I think the same. I think it still holds up and is great. Rosetta and the crocodile is one of my favorite parts, and they remind me of Rumpel and Belle ever since I watched a meme that compared them, so amazing. This movie also shows the origin of Captain Hook, and I think that was great. Very well done and very creative to intertwine the story of Captain Hook with the fairies. And of course, that was very unique because we now get to see not only the fairies but the pirates. That's just a very unique take on a Disney fairies movie that I really loved. At number 2, we have Tinkerbell and the Great Fairy Rescue. This movie is amazing. This time I rewatched it. It really got to my heart. It's now one of my favorites because it's so heartwarming and it has a great story and so many cute moments. I just couldn't deal with it. The setting is always very sunny, but there are also some moments in which they go and fly beyond the clouds, and that is amazing. We also get a view from London. I also love that, but this is set in the countryside of London. So the fairies trying to rescue Tinkerbell was a blast to watch. Was amazing and so funny, as well as the switch talents in the Pirate Fairy. Here we have that rescue. I think that was brilliant because it showed us more the fairies' personalities and their relationships. And talking about relationships, Tink's relationship with Lizzie was so pure. I love everything about it. How Tink teaches her to fly and how Lizzie loves everything about the fairies. That is just so genuine and cute. I also think this movie has a great family message and a message overall about life and about how adults see life and the contrast on how children see it. The main song is also very beautiful, and the reason why this isn't in first place is because the ending has some cringy moments that I didn't really love, but the rest of the movie was amazing and it is one of my favorites still, and it really has a place in my heart. Number 1, we have Tinkerbell. The original movie, of course, it had to be here. I don't know if this is predictable or this is dumb in your opinion or this is very cliche. I don't really know. But I love this movie and I think is the one that really captures the magic what Disney wanted us to know about Tinkerbell. It's the movie that started everything and is the movie that shows the origin story of Tinkerbell. We have the first glance of this world that is Pixie Hollow. We have an introduction to the magic, the fairy talents, the types of fairies. The world is very rich and I loved how we explore it through this movie. One of the best aspects is Tinkerbell's development. Unlike in The Lost Treasure, I think this movie is great to show how she grows to be better. She learns many things and she learns about herself, which is very important. I love that because the message talks about really finding who you are and everyone can relate to that. Another thing that I love is that the beginning and the ending are in London, and that is so beautiful. Both scenes are very great and I love them. I also love how Think changes the rules of Pixie Hollow for the better. That's just amazing. This movie overall has a very special place in my heart. I think is very unique. It has very beautiful winter vibes and I just love everything about it. And that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and please give it a like, share it with all of your friends. Tell me in the comments what is your ranking of the Tinkerbell movies. I would love to know. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I upload content every week about movies, books, and TV shows. Here on the screen I will put more videos for you to check out, and I will see you next time.